welcome to Let's Talk. I'm John.
And I'm Matt.
And we are going to be reviewing movies, video games.
Also, we're going to be doing some unboxings of some tech, some new hardware, maybe some special edition consoles.
You wouldn't have ate it.
I wouldn't have
But you think of Triple H when you're eating.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Physical Media, episode 21. I'm John, and this is Matt. And this is the show where we kind of just, we talk physical media for about 45 minutes to an hour. And whatever else we kind of want to talk about.
And we talk about why John thinks of Triple H while he's eating.
Yes, that came up. We've been talking about that. I don't know why, but for some reason, my mind, when I eat something, whatever it is, whether
anything.
It be
so
anything,
if you take a bite of one of these cookies, Triple H immediately in your mind.
Triple H hitting a pedigree on somebody just pops in my head.
But how? I
don't know why.
Associate that.
It's just something that's always happened to me for like a long time.
What about before you knew about Triple H?
I don't know. I don't remember. I just know that I always kind of, for some reason, I don't know if it's like a relaxing mechanism or something. But I've always had Triple H pop in my mind while I'm eating.
Right, but I'm saying something had to have happened. Something about Triple H has to remind you of eating.
I think it's because when I was, actually you can recall this, I used to watch a lot of wrestling while I ate. So I'm guessing that the reason is because I used to watch a lot of Triple H matches, like DX matches and stuff, and I remember eating them in chocolate chip ice cream. And I can remember, I guess maybe my mind just goes right back to that. I don't know, it's a strange thing.
Actually, okay.
Like, you don't have anything like that? Like something random?
I do. And actually, I was just discussing it with, I think, Dennis 4K.
Dennis Cinema 4K?
Yeah. With about Indiana Jones.
Ah.
So I remember being very sick one day watching Indiana Jones on the TV. I was young. I was sick. And my mom liked, those Ruffles? It's like sour cream and cheddar Ruffles.
I love those. Those are great Ruffles.
See, I don't like them because of this day. Wow.
What?
You got a haircut?
Yeah. I went to our guy.
Did you go lower than normal?
Yeah, I went 1. Mm-hmm. Good or bad?
Sure.
All right.
Interesting choice, but okay, moving on. So I never really liked the cheddar and sour cream combo. I might like it now, but I just associate it with this. I remember trying them, throwing up, and just being sick. I mean, I probably threw up because of that, but I also gag when I eat shit I don't like. So that plus Indiana Jones, it was a recipe for disaster, and that's why I haven't revisited Indiana Jones. That's why I haven't revisited these Ruffle sour cream and cheddar chips, all because of something that happened to me when I was probably 8 years old.
That's crazy that you actually you've avoided.
Oh yeah, but it's not crazy. We just think about Triple H when we eat.
That's normal. Like, I don't know.
Sure is. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's normal. I mean,
okay.
I'm sorry. All right. Anyway. So, one of the first things we do on this show every week is we like to talk about the news, and there was actually a lot of news that rolled in today, before.
Yeah. Just alone, scrolling through, I was getting notifications on Twitter, that's what it was, and one of them I want to talk about right away.
You want to go right into that one, huh?
I'm going to jump right into that one, because I've been itching to watch this movie for a while. Now I'm going to have to wait a little bit, because what is it, March 28th, I believe
Yep, 28th.
And that movie is Wanted.
You love Wanted, huh?
I love Wanted, with Angelina Jolie, Morgan Freeman, and who's the other guy? Oh, McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
Yeah. Awesome movie. That's like the first time I've really seen James McAvoy.
That's the first movie I ever saw James McAvoy in.
Is that his...
Because that's pretty... No, I don't think that's his first movie, but...
That's not his introducing James McAvoy movie?
No, what year is that? 08? Oh wait, I was dead on. Wait, yeah.
I remember specifically, that's like the one and only movie I rented on the Xbox Marketplace on 360. And I remember specifically, like this broke a lot of records for me, because first movie I ever rented off of Xbox. And when you rented a movie off Xbox, I don't know if it's still the same, probably, but I haven't rented a movie since this. But you had 24 hours and you could watch it as many times as you want. So in that 24 hours, I think I watched it like 3 times. And I had a great time. I love that movie. I have it on Blu-ray. I watch it all the time, and I've been itching to watch it again. And I guess I'm very excited for a Shout Factory 4K release.
And I know you didn't see them all because you only texted me about that one and one more, because that couple came rolling in right at the end, and the one that I'm most excited for is The Exorcist 3 on 4K.
The Exorcist
Because-
3. What about 2?
Well, 2 is terrible. Have you ever seen 2?
No.
Don't. Don't see 2.
Okay.
It's a direct sequel to 1, and it brings back the cast from 1. But 3 is like a direct sequel to 1 also, and ignores 2. Mm-hmm. And it gets George C. Scott in it. It's, oh my god, it has one of the best jump scares in film history.
Really?
I love The Exorcist 3 almost as much as I love The Exorcist 1, which I think we'll get a 4K this year also. But no, The Exorcist 3 is fantastic.
So part 3 is the first one coming to 4K?
Yes, technically.
Yeah, wow.
And that's coming
See,
soon.
I get The Exorcist and Poltergeist confused and mixed up often.
Really?
Don't know why.
Yeah, that's a weird two to get mixed up.
Yeah, I know they're completely different, unrelated, and it just, I don't know.
Maybe it's the cyst at the end. I don't know, like Exorcist,
Maybe.
Poltergeist.
They're similar but different at the same time.
You kind of like that it's an unseen evil. I guess that's kind of what you're getting at. But The Exorcist 3, I'm glad this is coming to 4K. I almost bought The Exorcist 3 Blu-ray pretty recently because I wanted to rewatch
Is
it.
that that's a shout?
Yes.
Scream Factory?
Yeah,
They have a
it's the same cover and everything. It looks like, one of
Scream
the...
Factory's doing this. Okay, okay.
That was another one. Then another one that's getting a
Dead Silence.
Dead Silence,
Yes.
yes. A James Wan movie, actually.
I never saw that either. And then there's more than one of those?
No, I think that's the only one. I think so. Hold on.
Actually, I might even have that. That might have came in like the horror pack on a Blu-ray. I might have that, but I've never seen it, I don't think.
But the first one I know for Dead Silence is directed by James Wan, who you know is the director of Saw. And The Conjuring 1 and 2, Insidious 1 and 2.
James Wan.
Aquaman.
Okay, here's another confusion for me. James Wan, is he Asian?
Yes, he is.
So he's not the guy in the bathtub.
In what?
Saw.
No, that's Lee Winnell. You get Lee Winnell and James Wan mixed up?
I thought the guy in the bathtub, I thought he was the director of the movie.
No, he's the writer of the movie.
The writer.
Him and James Wan worked together. They wrote the movie together. And then Lee Winnell went and directed some movies too. The one Upgrade and The Invisible Man.
He did Upgrade?
Yeah.
Ah, well, Upgrade was fantastic.
So Lee Winnell and James Wan are very talented guys.
Awesome fucking movie.
I love Upgrade. I told you, I knew you would love Upgrade.
Oh, I want that on 4K. That needs to come to 4K.
And no one saw it. Like, I remember when I went and saw that in opening weekend, it was me and one other guy in the theater, and he fell asleep.
No.
Yeah.
Shame.
And honestly, AMC in Stony Brook, a lot of people go to the movies to go to sleep or just to walk into a movie and walk out, because I was 15 minutes into Babylon, the couple 2 seats down from me just got up and left.
I don't know if I've ever done that.
I've never walked out of a movie. I have fallen asleep in a movie, though. Ang Lee's Hulk, I remember specifically falling asleep.
I remember falling asleep during Ocean's 13.
I remember that. You and Fletcher.
And maybe the Reno 911 movie, I think I fell asleep during.
That's a shame. That's a good movie.
It is. I don't remember.
Really? I just rewatched that. Still holds up.
Yeah, I think I watched that recently. Was it on Peacock, maybe?
Yes, that's
or
right.
Paramount?
Yeah, but you can buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, no.
No?
I don't think so.
Don't fucking say
I would have that.
Are you sure about
available.
that? No, I don't think you would.
Pretty sure it's only available on DVD.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Yep, you're right.
I am right.
You are right.
Okay.
No, you're right.
Like usual. Yep.
Not always, but yeah, you were right on that. I could have swore I would have bet my life.
No.
And I would have lost again.
No, I think the only Reno on Blu-ray is that their newest movie, something Q.
Oh, yeah. They were on Quibi. I remember that for a while.
Yeah, but
they've been all over the place since they came back. I'm kind of still, I think they're on Peacock now.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. But
yeah. So yeah, Dead Silence. I'm excited about that.
Yes.
And then another one that got announced is Street.
Unfamiliar. I know Streets of Rage, Sega Genesis.
Nope, this is Streets of Fire, and I'm excited. I'm excited about this because I just
Speaking of fire, if you guys hear that, that's we have a pellet stove in the background. That's what heats the downstairs. It'll kick down a little bit, but that thing is roaring right now because it's a little cool down here, so the thermostat's low. It's getting it up to temp. So if you hear that drone sound, that fan sound, it's the blower on the old pellet stove back there.
Yep. Matt heats his house like it's 19.
Yeah, if 1943 had electric and pellets.
They probably had they did have electric and pellets in 1943.
You think they had pellet stoves in 1943 because they're fairly new.
I'm not 100% sure.
Again, I
any
don't
of
remember
this.
when electric was invented, so I guess they had electric in 1943. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad one, Matt.
Oh, come on.
Are you kidding me? You have movies on your shelf that are before 1943. Would you think?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
What movie do I have before?
The Wizard of Oz is from 1939.
Is it really now?
Yeah, and that was a jump to color.
Wow, okay.
Dude,
no, really?
movies-
Is that old?
Yeah, that's not even the oldest, Matt. The Invisible Man that you've seen is from 1931.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and before that they had silent movies.
I was thinking Candlelight back then.
No, 1800s.
The 30s?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess
Yeah.
they weren't really rough.
They started shooting films, like the first film that they ever shot, I mean, it's really fast, was like the late 1880s or something like that.
And they had electric then?
They had electric. Don't quote me on the date when the electricity came around, I just know that it was the 1800s.
Have you tried any of these cookies?
I have.
We have holiday Christmas cookies, if you guys want one.
Feel free to take one.
But yeah, Dead Silence, definitely excited about that one. What was the last one you just said? Or we didn't get to that yet.
Streets of Silence, starring, why am I drawing a blank on his name? God. Green fucking Lantern.
Ryan Reynolds?
No, not Green Lantern, then Green
Seth Rogen?
from Spider-Man.
Oh, William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, yes. Streets of Fire, a very young Willem Dafoe in that
That's
movie.
the Green Goblin.
Green Goblin. When I said Green Hornet,
You said Green Lantern.
oh,
There's too many green people.
I know we're all over the place in this episode. But yeah, Streets of Fire. Yeah, no, it's a musical. One of the very rare musicals that I like, and yeah, no, it's coming to 4K. I just rewatched this
I
last
like any musicals. It's Grease.
Grease, you love.
Grease.
fucking-
I love Grease, but other than that, not a big musical guy.
Me neither. And actually, my favorite musical is La La Land. Which is weird because I don't know. Me and Damien Chazelle, he just did Babylon too. Like my two favorite movies from him are La La Land and now Babylon. But most people would say Whiplash and maybe First Man.
Is Team America a musical?
Yes, 100%.
It is.
Yeah, and so is the first South Park movie is definitely a musical too. Bigger,
Bigger, longer, and uncut.
yeah, bigger, longer, faster than I cut, or is it just big, longer?
Bigger, longer, uncut.
Yeah, that's a
Is
musical.
it?
That's 100% a musical.
I could, yeah. Shut your fucking face,
Uncle Fucker.
Fucker.
And Blame Canada's in that, right?
Blame Canada, yeah.
Yep.
Big bitch. Got another bitch.
No.
Just a stupid bitch.
Yeah. So, and they must love writing musicals because now that's pretty much
they
what they
did the
do.
Book of Mormon.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they must love musicals.
I always get their names confused.
I can never. Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
right?
Yeah, but if you,
think that-
I
or
can't
is
pick them out of a crowd. Like when they're
Or is
staying.
it Trey Stone and Matt Park?
No, it's Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Stone.
I know their names. I get mixed up who's who with their faces. And in my head, I always picture them in basketball. Is that weird? Even though
Yeah.
they're wearing wigs, and they're.
I either think of that, or I want to say it's like late '90s, early 2000s.
MTV with the dresses.
Yes.
Yeah, I always think of that too.
So they won some awards. Or they went to what was
Was it the Oscars or the Grammys?
The Grammys or the Oscars or something, and they took acid and they wore dresses,
Yeah.
and then they ended up winning an award, and they had to go up on stage in dresses on acid in front of Hollywood.
And they just, well, that's the thing with Hollywood. They don't give a shit. You
Yeah.
know?
So maybe that was after basketball,
It's definitely after basketball.
because would they win an award for South Park?
Well, if it was the early 2000s, they probably won for the movie Bigger, Longer, Uncut.
Might have been
1990.
90s, because it's old. That's a long time ago. I don't know. I don't remember the entire story. I just know they went up on stage in front of Hollywood in pink dresses.
That's great. They just love to cause a scene. I love those guys, though.
Yeah, they're the best.
And they're still going. Oh, and also, guys, for those who don't know, today is our 1-year anniversary since we started the channel.
Ah, yeah.
So, happy anniversary, Matt.
Hey, thanks. We should have probably done something.
What do
Maybe wore hats, celebrated, had
I figured we might.
games, giveaways. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we should have done a giveaway. Maybe we'll do a giveaway. I don't know. You know, it's just. I figured 1 year in. What do you think? How do you think it's been?
It's been a ride. I will say that. You know, it feels like it's been way longer than a year, and you don't feel the same way.
I feel no. The year definitely went. That was just a long year in general, but it was
Because the beginning was fine, like it was moving, I guess, and then I guess like maybe that once we hit like that 6-month mark, and then we hit the 1,000 subs, it feels like it's been a very long time. Since.
You know what? It does feel like that. You know what's crazy? We hit 500 subs at like the end of July, and now we're at 1,400 subs, and it's only January. So in 6 months, we went up almost 1,000. Mm-hmm. So people really, thanks to all of you, we've been really moving along.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
we're getting there. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you subbing. We appreciate you telling all your friends.
Yeah, telling all your friends. Did you guys like that catchphrase? I made that up literally in the first video.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's one thing I want to do. Maybe John can link it. But our very first video, not the introduction to the channel, our first video, we did a review, and we just kind of talked about the Terminator, which is our favorite movie.
Hey everybody, today on Let's Talk, we're going to be talking about the Terminator.
But I would love to revisit that, refilm that.
Yeah, me too. Because one thing about the very beginning, you guys can go back and watch all of our videos. We never deleted any. You could see the progression from how terrible our videos are to what they are now. So, and I don't even like 100% where we are now because we're still learning. If you watch this week, our videos were all over the place because of our camera issues and. You know.
So I mean, we were still learning the camera. We kind of got that dialed in for the most part. We were taking turns editing in the beginning, and I was just pulling my hair out, getting frustrated. So now John does 100% of the editing. I don't do any of that because I hate it. I didn't like the editing, and people were always complaining the music's too loud, this is too loud, blah blah blah. So we
all the stuff you complained about with the editing was always Matt. So, and I would never actually throw him under the bus, but every time there was a problem with this music or anything or looking shitty, it was always Matt. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm doing it myself.
Yeah. So, we
because this channel didn't start out for what it is now. It really started in a completely different place 1 year ago than it was. Do you remember what the original idea of this channel was?
Generally what we're doing, but we figured we would review movies, Blu-rays, video games, tech, just a little bit of everything, like all nerd stuff, all entertainment, all media, just jumbled up into one. But then we kind of realized what the algorithm does to you, what people seem to like, what people dislike. Our game reviews never really do too well. And a lot of stuff is kind of hit or miss, but it seems like the 4K stuff and the physical media stuff is really kind of what stuck, which was pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah, that's the one I actually, and it's funny is I wanted to do physical media from the beginning. I just didn't think I thought it was too small. I didn't think there was enough people into 4Ks.
Well,
and
you
Blu-rays.
originally just wanted to strictly review movies.
My idea for 100% was I wanted to be a film critic. So yeah, I just wanted to review movies. Right. But I had the idea, and some of our early reviews are labeled this, film in 4K reviews. Because I wanted to take, because most people when they do reviews, they just review the 4K itself. They might kind of just glance over the movie and say, oh, I like it or I don't like it, but they don't actually review the movie. So I thought it'd be cool to split up our reviews into 50% on the film and then 50% on whatever the physical release is.
Which is pretty much what we do,
but we only label them 4K Blu-ray reviews. But in all our 4K Blu-ray reviews, you do get a film review too.
Right, yes.
So.
And then we were anticipating reviewing more game stuff, but it's just when you're starting a channel, it's near impossible to even get noticed. Reviewers are getting stuff weeks, months before stuff comes out. They have all the time in the world to put into it, and they can put out a big polished product where we get it maybe a day early if we can, pre-order it somewhere or change the date on the Xbox and play it a day early, and we have to cram everything into a few hours, and then we still work full-time jobs, and then
we got wives,
and then the editing was a big task.
Because we had no idea how to edit.
He's gotten a lot better at it. That's why he does it all, and he's much if I had to edit something, he could edit something 3 times before I do it once. But it's a lot of work, but
it's definitely fun. And we also, the coolest thing was meeting all of you guys. We've met some people that like my wife will recognize the names in the comments, and she'll be like, "Oh, Shamrock Balls commented." And she'll be like,
she sees it.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, Dennis Cinema 4K," or like we have Frank Rodriguez or
Freddie
tell him Freddie sent you, or Impressive Tony. Like just I'm sure we're forgetting names just off the top of our head, but thank you guys all so much. Everyone who enters the digital code giveaway, I recognize those names every week.
Uncle V, obviously.
Uncle V's a big one from the beginning.
Yeah,
and he's given us some gifts over the year. He literally gave me something. He literally almost like an STD. He gave us a Serbian film. It's like herpes. It never fully goes away. I'll die.
Actually, I saw Vex today, or John Doe. His name is on YouTube. He was going back and forth with Uncle V.
I know they're talking about their taste in movies.
He's like, it seems like we have the same taste. I was like, I don't think you do. Maybe.
Uncle V, mail him a copy of a Serbian film so he can check that out, and then we'll see if you guys are on the same page.
Right? Yeah. I don't know about that.
But talking about our 1 year mark, we do have a question.
Are we done with news?
Yeah, there's no real.
That was it?
There's only really screen for chat. Oh, actually, hold on. One other news thing, and this is kind of a minor news thing, but it's official now with the Rockies coming to 4K. February 28th, they announced the Knockout Collection, which is going to have Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then they also announced steelbooks for all of those individually. Now, for the 4K collection for all four, $60.
Right. Is that right?
I just pre-ordered off Amazon just now.
And
also, an hour ago.
Allegedly, I believe Sylvester Stallone is working on 5 and 6.
New cuts of him.
New cuts and coming to 4K.
Yeah, later this year, at the end of the year.
So do we wait and hope for a 6-movie box set? Or do we buy this one and then are they going to do a double pack individuals after that?
So
what do we do here?
This is actually, I was going to bring this up and you read my mind. They're also releasing them individually 1 through 4 in steelbooks. And those steelbooks are $30 right now.
Each.
So I would be spending, literally it's double because it's $60 for the 4-pack or $120 to get all this.
So it's a no-brainer to get the
4-pack.
Yeah.
And then I'm figuring at the end of the year, those other two will come in a 2-pack, but you're probably right. There will be a 6-film collection.
There's going to be a 6-film
100%.
There has to be,
and I'm going to be frustrated, but I am getting those on February 28th and reviewing them.
You are?
100%. Okay. I'm very excited for the Rocky 4Ks.
Rocky. I've seen them, I think all of them, like years and years ago, and I have not seen them in a long time. I do want to watch them. I do want to revisit them, but I think I can wait. I'll wait a little while and see what happens. Maybe if there's a good sale on the pack, then I'll go for that. But I would like to get all in one shot. One big box set of all 6, and then what are they Creed? What is it?
Well, Creed's 1, 2, and 3's coming out this year.
And then that would be the entire universe.
Well, yeah, there's 6 Rocky movies and there's 3 Creed movies. Third one coming out this year.
Okay.
And actually, that's Michael B. Jordan's.
And those are all on 4K already?
Yeah, those 2, because those are recent movies.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's really weird. And also, there's another cut of Rocky 4 that came out, I believe, either last year or 2 years ago, that takes out the robot from Rocky 4. So, there is 2 cuts of Rocky 4, which I think is the best Rocky movie.
Is that the one with,
Dolph Lundgren.
Yes.
Yes, that's the best one.
Yeah, that's got to be the best.
That's when Rocky beats communism, so all by himself.
Good one.
Yeah, no, I love.
Also, unrelated to Rocky, I heard Batista is going to be done with Guardians.
He is done. He's after Guardians 3. He's out of Marvel because he wants to concentrate more on more dramatic roles. Because Batista is probably the best wrestler turned actor.
Over The Rock?
Definitely. As far as acting goes, he's not more popular than The Rock. That's impossible. No actor is more popular than The Rock, probably. Maybe Tom Cruise?
I mean, yeah, I've seen, I guess, Batista in Blade Runner.
Yeah, and he plays that role. That's like a dramatic role. And do you remember Army of the Dead?
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, he was good in that. He had that comedy come out with Stuber.
Great movie.
Yeah? I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Oh, I have that on 4K.
Do you?
That's amazing.
Yeah, he was in that. And he's got that movie coming out with M. Night Shyamalan called Knock at the Cabin in a month, which I'm really excited for. And he just was in Knives Out, a Glass Onion, and Knives Out tale. So the guy, he can just act. That's the thing. The Rock's always The Rock. Dave Bautista can actually play a role.
I guess.
But
he was a great wrestler too. I loved him.
I love Batista, but I mean but then John Cena honestly has even settled into as Peacemaker. Love John. Perfectly cast as
Perfect.
Peacemaker.
Yeah. I was so skeptical about that.
Me too. I thought John Cena should have got out of acting. Like, I saw him in Daddy's Home 2 a few years ago. I'm like, the guy only had 5 lines, and I'm like, and he still fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
But he's gotten a lot better, and he just needs James Gunn. I mean, he needed James Gunn.
Yeah, they figured it out.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I like that. But it's bittersweet, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Drax.
I guess that means they're killing him off.
I think it's gotta be. How else do you
Right.
move on from Drax? I mean, I don't know what their plans are. It's the third trilogy. It's the third movie. It's James Gunn's last movie too, because he's the head of DC now. That's a Marvel Studios movie.
Yeah, look at that. He's playing on both sides of the fence right now. Yeah.
It'll be unique to see how he promotes that movie.
Can you imagine if we get one day like a DC Marvel collaboration movie?
I mean, it could happen. It did happen in the comics.
I know it has.
So it could happen. It's just, you know what? It's got to work out for both sets of wallets. That's the problem. It can't just be, good for one. And they're too greedy, all of them. We're lucky we got that Sony Marvel team up, or we would never get Spider-Man the way he should be.
Yeah,
We got lucky with that, or else we'd be still having some bad Spider-Man movies. Although, there's some good ones. What am I saying,
Yeah, I mean, after just watching Black Adam, it's just on the top of my mind. And I'm curious to see what happens with the DC universe now. It's a shame, because I think a lot of them are casted pretty well.
They are. I'm really, the one that hits me the most, besides Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, too.
Yeah.
They nailed the cast.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect casting. They got it right. I mean, I get that you don't like Ben Affleck. You think they whiffed on him.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Batfleck guy. Yeah.
I get that. I actually think he's pretty good. I just don't think the movie works itself. But I haven't seen the extended cut of Batman vs. Superman. So it's really, do I like it or am I just wrong? I don't know. I got to check that out again. But just also, we have a question involving our anniversary. So we're going to ask that question first before we do anything else. Because it's from Impressive Tony, who has helped us out a lot over the course of this year.
Tony.
So Tony wrote, congrats on your 1-year anniversary. So now that you've been in the game for a bit, what about running this channel has surprised you over the past year, and what are some changes you'd like to make during your second year in the FilmTube community? So we did answer kind of some of that, but I guess the biggest changes I want to make over the next year is I would like to go a little bit further on what we're doing, maybe do some live streams through the year, or I don't know how big you have to get. I don't know how it works, where you got to start, most people start a Patreon, and then they do Patreon exclusives, but we don't want to leave people out.
I think we have to continue building the fan base.
Yeah, I don't know
until people start asking.
Okay.
I don't think we're at that point yet.
Okay.
We're still, again, we're a small fish in a big ocean. Right?
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't even know how to really gauge it because it's just me and Matt. So we do this all on our own. We don't know how. That's why Tony has actually been a real tool to us, because he has really helped us with the visuals on this channel, as far as with the camera and stuff like that, and the audio. So if he wouldn't have helped us, he probably would still see that faded look we had for our first 6 months.
Right. I say my goal is I would love to add a third.
Oh, a third person. We almost had a third. I don't know if you guys remember before, in the very early days, we had Dennis, my cousin, for a while. He was on here, but it was a little rough for him, so he kind of bowed out respectfully, as he did.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because, again, we put all our time and money into this, and it's hard for someone else to justify that. So, hey, if anyone's in the Long Island area and you want to be part of Let's Talk, we'll look at your resume. Uncle V, hey.
I'm sure it'll look like our resume, so.
Yeah. We won't pay you anything.
That's the big thing, though. You got to remember that. When you're going in, your salary is the same as our salary, which is a whopping $0. Although, we got our first Amazon check, $10.77.
Yeah, don't spend that all in one spot.
We can. And we can't even get 2 cups of coffee from Starbucks.
Really?
Yeah, I got 2 cups of coffee for me and my wife today. $12.
We can get maybe 2 Blu-rays for $10. Maybe.
If they're $5.99,
we
can't.
shop smart.
I don't even think we can get 2 $5 Blu-rays because of taxes. Oh, actually, I think we could.
Yeah. It'd be a tough one, but yeah. So what exactly? Read that question again. What did we touch on everything?
What surprised us over the past year?
What surprised us? How much work it is.
That is the biggest surprise. It really is really hard to run a YouTube channel.
It is because you watch these videos and you're like, oh, these guys made a 20 or 7-minute video on a movie. All they had to do was watch a movie and make a 7-minute video on how they thought about it. Okay.
Seems simple enough, right?
It is a lot more work, and I understand why these YouTube channels that get millions of views get all this money, and it is a lot of work. The editing is really, that's the bitch.
That's the bitch of it all. But also, when we put these videos out for people, we don't just sit down, watch the movie, and tell you like, oh, it looked good or bad in this scene. Like, we compare it to other Blu-rays. We like test it on other TVs. Like,
we're putting in the man hours.
Yeah, we want to make sure we put out like the right review, and we're not just half-assing it. We actually test this stuff to make sure it's actually
it's our honest review.
Yeah, we're not no one's paying us.
It's very opinionated. Like I can think something looks good where you can think something looks bad, or vice versa, or like movies he watches I think is terrible, and he thinks movies I watch are terrible. So
a lot of terrible.
So that's very opinionated. We have a much different taste, but we also meet on a lot of stuff. How The Terminator is his favorite movie, I have no idea. But looking at me and seeing the list and stuff I like, that's easy to say, oh yeah, that makes sense. For him, I have no idea how The Terminator
Have we ever actually disagreed on a 4K's visual quality, though? Like, I know we disagree a lot on film taste. Obviously, we're totally opposites. But on visual, like, have we ever, like, watched the 4K and, like, thought that one of us thought it looked better than the other? Well, we usually fall on the same side of the fence.
We generally don't review the same 4K together either, though.
No, but one thing I remember Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I thought was a gorgeous looking 4K.
Oh, right. Yeah, I thought that looked a little rough.
Yeah.
For a little bit, but then like you start dissecting it and digesting it, it was a good 4K for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that was just down to the source.
Yeah.
I just remember that specifically those opening scenes were very, very grainy.
I don't remember who I was talking to in the comments, but I think it was David Burr. I think he watches this every week, and we were talking about the visual quality and like how we always say like an old 4K can't compare to a new 4K. Like talking about bringing old 4Ks, bringing old films to new 4Ks. Or like he thinks that like that's really where like the best 4Ks are. Like not like a 2022, 2023 4K like Black Adam, for example.
Well,
you think it doesn't compare, right?
It's unfair to compare because again, Black Adam versus Jaws, movies that was made 100 years ago versus something that was shot yesterday, technology was different. Yes, you could take that movie that was made 100 years ago and make it look the best it's ever looked. However, it's still not going to look as good as something shot on modern technology if they're really, really trying to make it look good. Like, there's shit shot today that looks terrible. But these Marvel movies where they're on these billion-dollar cameras, you can see every little dimple and pore on their skin versus, like, you can do the same thing with film, like that's brought to 4K from older movies, but it's still a little different, But again, they're both great in different ways.
Yes.
It's hard to really nail that one down because
the thing with going from an old movie to a 4K is we all have the memories of when we saw that movie on Blu-ray or on DVD or all the way back to VHS when certain movies like Batman for me is like the craziest jump because I have owned it from VHS to present day 4K Blu-ray, and the VHS was rough.
Right.
The VHS that I think was the roughest that I've ever seen was the Terminator.
And another thing with like the upgrades to 4K, it's not just resolution. They're playing with the color. They make the color more vibrant. Or less, whatever it is. They adjust everything.
All the color timing is all just completely, especially like on Halloween, they messed with the color timing a lot.
Yeah. They also gave you the original color timing on another disc.
Yeah, they did. So if you want that as well.
But that's another thing they do. So they really pretty everything up besides just the resolution. And then, we're getting new audio tracks here and there. So, 4K is, I think, great.
No, 4K.
I love 4K.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's like our bread and butter here on the channel, because, you know, I do look forward to, like, what are the new 4Ks coming out next week that we get to review? You know, like the upcoming next week, for example, Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
I cannot
But that's
wait.
already on 4K.
It is, but
I think this is...
I gotta check. Does it have Dolby Cinema? Dolby Vision,
I
rather?
think that's like part of the thing was this is getting Dolby Vision.
Yeah,
but
we'll
again,
see.
that might not be great because back to Dracula. Remember Dracula?
Yeah.
I preferred the HDR over the Dolby Vision, which is
Extremely rare.
very rare.
Very, very rare.
Very, very rare.
So, Tony, I hope we answered your question. And again, thank you so much for all your help this year. But, yeah, we got some more questions.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we really do appreciate you, Tony. And again, guys, subscribe to his channel. You'll be doing yourself a favor. All right, we have another question in, and this one is from Stuart George, and Matt's going to read this one because I forgot to turn the font up on my phone, and my eyes are terrible. So, Matt, what does this question say?
All right, by Stuart George. Not heard Dolby Atmos sound. My sound system is a Yamaha YSP 2500 sound projector. Is Dolby Atmos really worth me buying something that has Dolby Atmos? Or I've heard some people say DTS or Dolby True HD just as good.
I think what Stuart's asking is, is it worth to invest in Dolby Atmos? Because I think you do have an old surround sound system, which I think is really good, that doesn't have Dolby Atmos sound.
Correct, yeah. So, you know, your older 5.1 systems, I had like a Sony receiver and basic 5.1, and it still sounds great, but, you know, Atmos is tricky because a proper Atmos system, you'd have like a Denon or Marantz receiver, and then you'd have like 48 speakers in your whole thing. You know, well, not 48, but you'd have your center, your tower speakers, your front left, front right. You got your center channel. Then you would have in-ceiling speakers, and then I think you're even supposed to have like some speakers in the side, and then your rears, and then I believe one, maybe even two subwoofers. So that's like a proper Atmos setup. Not everyone can afford that. Not everyone has the room for that. But, you know, like I have a Sonos soundbar. I have the Sonos Arc with the subwoofer and the two 5s as my rear speakers. And it sounds absolutely incredible. I came off the Samsung Q90R soundbar, which still had Atmos, DTS, all that stuff. And that sounded pretty good, but once I went to the Sonos, it blew me away. And I originally went to Best Buy with the intentions of doing a full surround sound system, but the guy sold me on the Sonos. It was just so much easier than ripping my ceilings open and running all the speaker wire and doing all that stuff to do it the right way. So, I mean, back to your original question, is it worth the upgrade? You know, how old is your receiver? If it's more than like 2 years old, then...
Well, I think he said you had a Yamaha 2500.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the Yamaha receivers. I know high-end receivers, you would either go like Denon or Marantz. Those are the good ones. And then anything under that, I'm not too familiar with. But that's like what they keep in the Magnolia Theater. Those are the real high-end stuff, the real high-end builds. The Yamaha, I think, is more of like somewhere in the budget area. You know, you could do that with the Sonys or something with an O, Onkyo or Onkyo.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Something
Onkyo?
like that, yeah.
Something like that.
So those are like more of the budget brands. But again, a 5.1 is still going to be better than what most people have. But if you want a true Atmos setup, then I would say yes, go. If you have the disposable income and the place to do it, I highly recommend a proper Atmos because it is better. Is it a lot better? Will everyone notice the difference? No, probably not. But, you know, when you start having those height speakers up in the ceiling and you just hear the stuff over your head and zipping around the room, and Atmos is pretty incredible. But
you'll notice Atmos the most, like, if you're watching a regular movie where it's dialogue heavy, you're not going to notice it that much. But you're watching a war movie, you put John Wick on, and
yes,
the rain is behind you. You feel like the rain is coming next to you on both of your ears.
It'd be coming from your ceiling and your height speakers.
Yeah, it's just like a helicopter spinning. Like that's where really like an Atmos track is just amazing because what it is it's shooting it up at your ceiling and then like it's supposed to come down.
Bouncing it
yeah,
down
bouncing down at you. That's the way it's designed.
Yeah.
Now, when they design all the sound mixes, the way the studios do it is they put a guy in Adobe Theater, the guy who does all the sound mixes, they put him dead center, and that's how he designs the audio. So really, that's how an audio track is designed, and that's the best way to design it. And so really, dead center at Adobe Theater is the highest quality of sound that you could possibly find.
Right. Now,
So,
as far as
home though,
DTS and DTS-X, so you have Dolby and then you have DTS. DTS-X is basically their Atmos. So a DTS-X track is going to be pretty damn good, sometimes better than an Atmos track. That it's just the two brands. It's red versus blue at that point.
yeah.
But True HD, Dolby True HD, I believe is the same thing as Atmos. So like on my 4K player, when I put in something with Atmos, it'll on the line that reading the disc, it'll say Dolby Atmos or True HD.
7.1.
So those are the same thing, 7.1.
So really, it's going to come down to like your personal preference. I've heard some 5.1s that have sounded better than some Dolby Atmos tracks, but that's just usually a bad mix from the disc.
Comes down to the quality of the equipment. The
Yeah.
more you spend on the equipment, the better it's going to sound.
Yep. So we hope we answered your question, Stuart. Thanks for writing in, and we really do appreciate it. So then our next question is from Lorenzo Harris, man of God, and he wrote, "Wow, congrats guys on a year putting out great physical media content. What do you guys think about the new Evil Dead Rises trailer, and where do you guys rank the Evil Dead films best to worst?"
Forgot to watch the trailer, saw the picture of that. Looks great, looks like something I would enjoy. However, the Evil Dead movies, not my favorite, I think I actually like, what was the third one?
Army of Darkness?
Army of Darkness more than the Evil Deads. But Evil Dead 1 and 2, throw those up in the air. I could watch either one. I don't think 1 is better than 2. I don't think 2 is better than 1. I think they're about equal. I don't remember. I'd have to look at my letterbox.
Where did you put the remake in there?
Oh, the remake would be number 1.
That would be your number 1?
Yeah.
So you would go 1, you would go Army of Darkness. I mean, no.
I would go remake, Army of Darkness, and then a toss-up between 1 and 2.
Oh, all right. So I did do my homework, and I did watch the trailer, and it looks pretty good. And this was originally supposed to come to HBO Max, but now it's going directly to theaters. So that's pretty
that's a
cool.
good sign.
That means I think they have a little bit of faith in it, which is good.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah, because when it got first announced for HBO Max, I was like, ugh, they're just rushing it out.
So, again, I didn't watch the trailer.
You want to watch this trailer real quick? Looks like they're in a cabin.
Oh, it's not in a building? Way off. Okay. Wasn't there a building?
So there was a building in the photo.
Yeah, there was a building in the photo, so
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with the trailer. Okay.
No.
So, the interpretation I got from that picture versus the trailer, completely different.
Yeah, now my question is this a sequel to Evil Dead, or is it just like another reboot? I didn't do any
Rise. It could be a reboot. It could be a sequel. It could be a sequel. It's got the same font, but that's the franchise font. But who knows?
I'm not
We'll
too
see.
sure.
It looks good. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, but if I was going to rank my Evil Dead movies, it would go Evil Dead 1, the original, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, and then the Evil Dead remake. So mine...
Really?
Yeah, but I really like the original one a lot more than most people do, which is weird.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
So yeah, that's how I would rank them. I am excited. It comes out April 21st, it says. So that's right around my birthday, so I'm excited about that. Definitely something I look forward to checking out.
That's something to get me to go to the theater.
Yeah, that will get you. Yeah, Matt doesn't go to the movies that much. Which
No.
It's just upsetting because I go every single week.
That's crazy.
I love the movies though.
I like the movies too, but not if there's nothing good.
There's always something good.
Not true.
No, I mean there's always something you could see.
Of course, there's always something that you could see because they would be out of business.
Well, actually, they had a hard time at the end of last year.
Really?
Yeah, but before Avatar came out, they were having a hard time getting people to go to the movies. I was still there. I was still showing my support.
Yeah, we saw Violent Night.
That's what we saw.
I think that's the last thing that
That's
I
what I
saw.
too. So yeah, I've seen Avatar, Babylon. What else have I seen?
Babylon looks pretty good.
I love Babylon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. That was my number 4 of the year.
Okay, yeah, that looked like something I might enjoy.
It's like Goodfellas and Boogie Nights,
Okay.
like that. Those epics that span time.
What did I see before Violent Night?
well, that's the
We had a
night.
few disappointments.
That we
at
did.
The theater.
Yeah, we did between Jurassic Park Dominion, Halloween Ends, Morbius,
Matrix.
Matrix. Well, that was at the end of last year. That was December 2021.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that squeaked in at the end of last year.
Yeah, that was a shame. The Matrix, I think, was one of my biggest. Yeah.
I completely erased that from my mind.
Halloween was a big upset too.
Halloween was horrible.
Mm.
That wasn't as bad as Morbius. Morbius was still the worst movie of the year.
Yeah, Morbius was a shame.
Yeah, I want to forget that movie exists. It really does bother me.
I'd watch that again though.
No, it's a shame because the steelbook's really nice.
I know. I want that lenticular lens cover.
Yeah, so that's really a shame.
I'll get it eventually.
I know you will, for no reason. You'll also probably buy that Batman and Robin steelbook that I announced. Oh, you already have Batman and Robin in a steelbook.
I do. Yeah.
You could buy it individually.
No, I don't need that.
Oh my god.
Maybe you'll finally get Batman Forever.
I do need that. There was something floating around that there was another cut of Batman.
Yeah,
you saw that?
I've heard that for a long time now.
Yeah, but
the Schumacher cut.
Yeah, I heard about this, but apparently it would cost WB too much money to like fix it. But oh my god, can you imagine seeing a super Schumacher cut of Batman
I would
Forever
fucking pay so much money to go see that.
in theaters? Oh my god, we'll probably get more nipples.
Batman Forever.
Good one. And then our last question of the day is from Tell 'em Freddy sent you. What are your thoughts on Strange Days, the film, and the similarities to Cyberpunk the game? What do you know about Strange Days?
Nothing at all.
So Strange Days is a 1995 cyberpunk neo-noir film
Interesting.
starring Ralph Fiennes and Angela Bassett, Tom Sizemore. Recognize those names?
Nope.
Well, Ralph Fiennes is Voldemort in the Harry Potter movies,
Okay.
and he's also in a million other movies.
Okay.
I actually just watched him in The Menu.
Welcome to Hawthorne.
He's
Well,
fantastic.
He's in a ton of makeup in Harry Potter. So.
Yes, he doesn't have a nose, but you've also never seen like all the movies. I'd probably say maybe you've seen Made in Manhattan. I don't know.
Nope.
No, it's a bad movie. Don't see Made in Manhattan, but Grand Budapest Hotel, great movie also. But yeah, anyway, him, Angela Bassett, who plays Trey's mom in Boys in the Hood, and she's also in Black Panther 1 and 2. She's the mom in Black Panther. And then Tom Sizemore is in Heat, which also came out in 1995.
Okay.
And he's also in Always Sunny as the truck driver who picks them up and wants to split them open like Swiss cheese.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, so anyway, this movie takes place in the last 2 days of 1999.
Okay.
And it's basically a world, it's in the future because it's from 95 to 99, where you could take other people's memories and you put a machine on and you could feel it and live it. Like you basically live other people's memories. Almost like a drug.
Okay.
And yeah, it's similar to Cyberpunk. Did you play that?
I did.
Okay. So it's similar because you could do something like that in Cyberpunk if you remember. You could go into somebody else's mind.
Yeah, I think that was one of the missions. I played Cyberpunk when it initially released on my Series X. I beat it. I played all the way through it. I enjoyed it. But that's a pretty long time ago.
Yeah,
now.
it was 2020, I believe.
Was it that long ago?
I believe it was fall of 2020. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and I like Cyberpunk a lot.
I do. That's the last RPG I really played. I enjoyed it. I remember a lot of dildos.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on, but it definitely was based a lot off of Strange Days, which is directed by Catherine Bigelow, who is also James Cameron's ex-wife, and it's written by James Cameron, co-written by James Cameron. Yeah, he co-wrote this movie. And yeah, no, I really like Strange Days. It's a good movie. I actually rewatched it before I came over here, so it's fresh in my mind.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's what I was
When?
watching. Literally this afternoon.
Oh, you watched it today?
Yeah, I want, because Tell 'em Freddy sent you. This is a weird
You
one.
have it?
No, that was my next point. It's hard to get on Blu-ray. There is not a US Blu-ray you can get. You can only get a Region B Blu-ray on Amazon.
So how'd you watch it?
HBO Max, and it never streams. You couldn't watch, like, I don't know, it just came to HBO Max, I think this month or last month. So you can watch Strange Days right now, and I highly recommend it because the world that they created really feels like a 90s gritty world. Oh, man, you'd love it. The costumes they wear, but the wigs, not great.
Not great.
Not great. Juliette Lewis has a wig on, and so does Ralph Fiennes in this movie, and yeah, not great wigs.
Not great wigs.
No.
Okay.
Tom Sizemore has a wig on in this movie too, but he gets it pulled off to reveal that thank God it was a wig because he had the worst of all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So that seems like it was on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, tonight I think I'm going to continue my Tarantino watch through.
I'm really glad that you're doing this, but Matt did not like Kill Bill Volume 1 like I thought he would.
Not as much. I thought Volume 2 was better.
I guess it depends how you count it.
So-
fourth and fifth, or
So-
just the fourth.
So part 2 would be the 5th.
Yeah, Tarantino and I myself also.
So my
kept one.
current Tarantino order, I've seen other ones, but I'm just doing my watch through. So number 1, I'm putting Pulp Fiction. Number 2, Jackie Brown.
I can't believe you have Jackie Brown that high. Not that I disagree, because it's a great movie.
Jackie Brown is number 2.
Yeah.
Number 3, Reservoir Dogs. Number 4, Kill Bill Part 2.
Ah,
And then number 5 is going to be Kill Bill. Current.
I'm surprised.
Tonight is Death Proof,
I would be surprised
and
if
that's going to rank high. 'cause
I can't
like
believe
that
that.
movie. I love that movie.
I know you do.
Stuntman Mike, Kurt Russell.
That's my last place of his movies.
Oh no, that's
and to be
that
clear,
could be top 3.
that's crazy.
That could be top 3. I don't know if it'll boot Reservoir Dogs.
My top 3 are Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill 1 and 2, and Reservoir
Kill
Dogs.
Bill 1 and 2. Really?
Yeah, I love the
Huh.
Kill Bills. Love the Kill Bills.
They're not bad. They're
No.
not bad at all. It's just not what I expected. You know, my father is a big Tarantino guy, and he always talks about Kill Bill. He's seen it a million times, and between him and my dad really hyping it up, I was a little underwhelmed, you know. But I don't know. Maybe once I revisit it again down the road, I might like it more, which I'm excited to rewatch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because I remember my first time watching that, I wasn't too hot on that either.
I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's actually probably my number 4 or 5 now.
And I really wish Wolf of Wall Street was a Tarantino movie, because I want to watch that soon too.
I just rewatched that 4K, but I bought it because
Yeah.
I love Wolf of Wall Street also.
Yeah, I wanna
That's a
watch that.
fantastic movie.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I want to watch that.
That's probably Scorsese's. Oh, no, he did The Irishman. I was going to say that's probably his last great movie, but The Irishman's great too.
Yeah.
Even though I think Wolf of Wall Street's way better,
Yeah, I think so too.
right? But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being with us for 1 year here on Let's Talk Physical Media. We have a lot planned for our second year. Right now, we're at almost 1,400 subscribers. It'd be nice to get to 5,000 by the end of this year, and really expand the channel into hopefully on course to where we can get to like 2 or 3 videos a day and not have to go to our shitty jobs. That
Yeah.
would be nice. So
John has to get better at editing.
yes, I do.
You guys have to watch and like the videos way more, so we can get more than 75 cents a video. And, then John can quit his job and we can bring you more content.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe get a third guy in here. Maybe a girl wants to
we want
join the mix.
Paige in the beginning, we wanted her to be with us, but she has too much of an adult job that she cannot be here that much.
Yeah.
Because we really liked having Paige on, and she was fun.
Paige is fun, yeah.
Yeah, so that kind
I
of...
mean, we could probably get her back here and there for like special. I think she's gonna do Scream with us when that comes out.
I can't wait to talk about Scream.
Yeah, I'm excited. I fucking love Scream.
Yeah, and people get... That was one thing that people always knocked us on, because we talk about Scream a lot.
Scream and Tom
And-
Cruise.
Yeah, Scream and Tom Cruise, that's big for us. But just so you guys know, Scream comes out, I believe, in March. And if you don't think we're ranking the Scream movies and then making another Scream video, you're out of your mind. There's going to be some Scream content.
Oh, I'm in. Yeah. I'm in.
All right, guys. Anyway, thank you so much. And as Matt said, nothing helps out the channel more than by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and telling all your friends.
Do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Since it's our anniversary, go down, do a little homework, scroll down, and just go watch our first Terminator video. Or John, link it.
I'll link it. I'll
Because
copy it.
I want you guys to watch that, and that was just our first time on video.
On camera together.
you know.
Yeah.
And we want to remake that.
Yeah, let us know. Do you want to see us remake that where we just talk about Terminator? It was called Why We Love the Terminator.
Yeah, we started a Why We Love series.
Yeah, we
where
did 3 videos.
We
I think.
did a handful, and they weren't really taken off.
Yeah.
Again, we got to build the fan base.
Yeah, we weren't thinking. We thought we could start a YouTube channel where we just talked about things that we liked, not realizing who the fuck cares about what we like. Gotta do a
Yeah,
little bit
people
more.
have to like us.
Yeah, before they could like anything we like.
Correct.
So, that was a hard lesson to learn. But anyway, guys, again, thank you so much. Enjoy your day, and keep on trucking.
Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Alright, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification. and keep talking with us on Let's Talk.
Tell your friends.